Hey there. Good evening, everybody. On this Wednesday, I'll do the over the hump thing to get you over the hump. 270 weather is coming up in just a moment. But first, our sponsor, RNR Controls out of Brownsville. Been there since 1985. That's 40 years. How do I know that? Because I got on the calculator. 20, 25 minus 40 equals 1985. No, I knew that already. I just wanted to, sometimes, when you do simple math, sometimes you like, let me check that on the calculator to make sure it's correct. Oh boy. I mean, sometimes the older I get, it's like, is that right? Yeah, it's right. So when you know that R&R Controls has been around for that long, I mean, you naturally just got to trust them. You have to trust them. When they have been this family run business for all these years, 4 decades. Think about that. 4 decades. For as long as, well, I've been doing the weather. Pretty much. Actually, I started doing weather before that. But still, 4 decades worth of HVAC services, maintenance, um, putting in ventilation systems, heating, cooling. I mean, you name it. R&R Controls has been doing that, and they continue to do that. And they adopt into the new technology, which allows you to take full control. R&R Controls. Now, why didn't they just, I asked Barry this one time and I said, why didn't you just call it R&R HVAC or R&R generators or R&R heating and cooling? He said, because it's about you taking control. And in this modern day of these modern day installations where you can actually control the temperature and the humidity and the ventilation in every single room via computer. And I'm talking about not just your home, but businesses, large industries, schools, you name it. It's about you having control. Therefore, the name R&R Controls. 270-777-2024. That's the number to call. 270-777-2024. At R&R Controls, whether it's heating, cooling, generators, installation, service, new renovations, programming, ventilation, controls, and more, you'll never be without your 270 weather in 30 seconds. And good evening, Wednesday, first day of October. October is here. I know, I'm still just like, how did we really? It's October? Yes, it is. I know it just seems like it just seems impossible, but here we are. And this is 270 weather for the 270 area code and beyond. And I'm Chris Allen, here live, if you're watching this live on YouTube or Facebook or wherever, the current time is 7:15 Central Time in the Central Time Zone. If you're watching outside that zone, this is your reference point. I've got some good news in that we are looking at some rain coming down the road, and as I put in the headline, there's a big chill coming. Yeah, I knew that would grab you. I knew that would grab you. Not only are we talking about rain, but we are talking about cooler and in some cases colder air coming. Now you may be saying, "Oh yeah, Chris, I'm sure it is." Like November, December, January. No, I'm talking about October, the new month that we're in. A big chill. It looks promising. I'll get to that in just a moment. But first, let's do our today's high and low, precipitation, all that. Of course, no rainfall. So that stays 0 as the drought continues. But just exactly like we had yesterday, a high of 88 and a low of 61. Those numbers, the same as yesterday, the same as Tuesday. 10 degrees warmer than normal. The normal high now 78. So we did exactly the same doggone thing that we did yesterday. Oh, how about that? All right. Well, let's take a look at radar. Of course, we're not going to find anything there, unfortunately. Let me move this over where you can see the middle right there, Bowling Green. You got the blooming. Oh, wait a minute. There was a little, look at this little shower, a little renegade shower outside of Crossville, Tennessee. This is I-40. East of Nashville, you go through Lebanon and you go through Watertown, Cookeville, Monterey, and then there's Crossville. And US 127 goes right down through there. But there's that little shower headed for Spencer, Tennessee. You know what's in Spencer, Tennessee? I think I heard somebody say it out loud. I could hear you. It's one of my favorite places to visit. Near Spencer, Tennessee, it is Fall Creek Falls State Park. I love Fall Creek Falls. For those of you that have never been there, it is an awesome place to be. It's right there where that little shower is headed. Yeah. So that's the only shower that I'm seeing on radar, and the only one we'll probably see for a while. Okay, let's check all of our Mesonet data from the Kentucky Mesonet Network at WKU. And we're looking at here at 718. Temperatures in the 70s, 74 at the Corvette plant, 79 at the Ag Expo Center. The coolest temperature, as you might expect, down in Burkesville next to the Cumberland River, 66. Precipitation, of course, none. Nowhere close today. Winds are still out of the north at about 2 to 5 miles per hour. And it's that north wind that has been with us pretty much every day, the last several days, that has kept us from feeling too hot and too humid. Even though dew points do rise somewhat in the 60s, it doesn't feel that bad. Dew points right now, these are the dew points. They are in the 60s. They will relax back into the 50s tonight, and that will give us another, comfortable evening and a nice, clear, cool start to tomorrow morning, just as it's been over the last several days. None of that looks to change. All right, let's go to how about the latest on the tropics? Because some of you are keeping up with this. And here we go. This is getting, Hurricane Imelda is getting very close to Bermuda. Bermuda is right there where the arrow is pointing. And you see the red next to the B, in between the B and the H. That is Bermuda, and it's about to take probably a direct hit. Already, some tropical storm force winds are starting to impact parts of Bermuda. That's the red there indicates a hurricane warning that is in effect. And it looks like it will be a category almost a category 2 hurricane. Then it's just going to go back out into the Atlantic and off into the North Atlantic as a tropical storm by this coming weekend. So really, that's the only thing that we've got going on. You say, well, what about Imelda? Well, it is still a hurricane. Well, it was remnants of Imelda. It's just drifting out here in the Atlantic. See, it's very far to the north of Bermuda. That's where Imelda is going to cross. So Umberto is already dying in a way, but boy, did it help keep Imelda from direct impact or directly hitting the southeast coast. If it had not been for Umberto, well, the southeast would have had a direct hit out of that storm. What about rain chances? Let's take a look. Let me go down and find the latest image. And with each image that comes in, yesterday it showed a little bit of green. And now we're starting to see some dark green and even some blue and light blue over southern and central Kentucky, the 270. Where does that hit us on the scale? How about, 3/4 to an inch of rain or more coming in starting Monday and in through Wednesday and Thursday of next week. Much needed rain. Now it's getting the assist from an old boundary that's kind of laying across the Gulf of Mexico, and some of that moisture is being transported into the area. But we also have a front that's diving down out of the north central plains, or will be by the beginning and the middle of next week. And that is what's going to bring us this rain. Hallelujah. So we're looking forward to that. Okay, let's get to the graphics here, the maps. Yeah, the maps is what we'll do. Oh, by the way, before I go to the maps, let me show you the drought monitor one more time. This is how it looked last Thursday. This is how it looks today. Same thing. Level 2 severe drought over much of western Kentucky and the far southwest from the land between the lakes and the tip of southwestern Kentucky under that red level 3 extreme drought. Now, remember, this last update, last Thursday, did not take into account the rain, much of the rain that we had last week, because the cutoff of the information was cut off last Tuesday. So it didn't count for Tuesday night, Wednesday night, and Thursday of last week, the rain that came in, and some of that was a couple of inches. So I'm curious to see how this map is going to look tomorrow when it gets updated. It could look worse or it could look better. And I don't like how long it takes for these things to be updated just once a week with the cutoff on a Tuesday, because then it misses a couple of days worth of information and you have to wait a whole week pretty much just to get an update. But I'm holding out hope that this map will look better tomorrow. But I think we're still going to be very much in a drought, and it's going to take a lot more rain than what we've had before it's going to get better. Okay, now to the maps. And here we go. Here is what is Hurricane Imelda. I think it just may be downgraded to a tropical storm. Let's see. No, I didn't get an update on that. But anyway, looks like it's going to be a category 1, maybe a category 2 hurricane as it moves over Bermuda. So there it goes. So let's take a look back here at home as we go into overnight tonight, early tomorrow morning. That inverted trough is still there. That's just a little bend in the um, atmospheric pressure, but it really doesn't change anything. It leaves us with some patchy fog, as we've seen pretty much every morning for the last several days, and I don't think that will change, but it's not going to produce any rain. In the afternoons, it helps maybe produce a few clouds like we saw today, but that's about it. Here we go into Thursday afternoon. No changes there. A little spotty showers out west of us. As we get into Thursday night, maybe up around St. Louis, there could be something as far as shower activity. Let me try to reload that. Okay, here we go. So here's Friday morning, high pressure in control. Here we go into Friday night. Saturday, high pressure firmly in control, keeping us dry, keeping us warm, and more of a southerly flow here, but I don't think it's going to make a whole lot of difference in temperature. We just go from the north winds that we've had lately to more of a east southeast breeze as we get into Saturday. Here we go into Sunday. Not much change there. Monday, now this is when we begin to see some rain. And as you can see from Bowling Green and pretty much all the 270, we'll see some showers, especially this is showing Monday morning, but I mean, we could get some by then. This would be moisture coming off the Atlantic and a little bit out of the Gulf around this periphery of high pressure. And then we have this incoming system that you see out west that will also interject with this moisture. And that's why our rain chances will go up next week. Here's Tuesday looking good. That's good coverage. The entire state of Kentucky with showers. Here comes a cold front. Here we go into Wednesday. 1 week from today, the front is still here, slowing down a little bit because of high pressure to the east. There's more rain coming with that next low pressure system out of the Four Corners, and it will move across the plains and into the Mississippi Valley. We tap into some available moisture, and we could get rain not just Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, but maybe even Thursday into Friday of next week. Boy, wouldn't that be nice? And I know you're thinking, well, I don't want it to rain every day. I just wish it would rain. Well, it may not rain, just continually every day next week, but there's at least a chance that we'll get some rain at some point every day next week. Now, what about uh, the models? The model viewer, what I call the blender, what is it showing? Here it is. So we get another day tomorrow in which we could hit 87, 88, and a day that's going to look just like it did today and yesterday and the day before. Here we go into the weekend. Um, Low to mid 80s. Okay. Here's Sunday. Here's Monday with that first chance of rain. That's going to bring our temperatures down to around 80. Then 81, 80 again on Wednesday. But then look at this upper 70s of next weekend. And those lows, look at the lows dipping into the 50s. That's going to feel nice. And that's because of the cloud cover and the continual, or not continual, but the repeat, rinse and repeat showers that will be with us, I think, for much of next week. Now, usually this is the last graphic I show, but I've got one more that I promised you at the beginning I was going to show. And this one is going to look different, but I'm going to explain what it is when I show it to you. So here we go. I want you to look and pay attention to this. Now, you got to keep in mind that what I'm going to show you is a long range model in which it shows that this big chill is coming. All right. Now, I know this takes up a lot of room on your screens. I'm going to try to maneuver this so you can see it because it is a um, pretty big graphic. Okay. So here it is. This is the GFS, and this is out to, looks like Saturday afternoon, not this Saturday, but the 11th of October. Okay. Now, as I maneuver this around, I'm going to try to bring it where we can see. There we go. Kentucky. Now, you look at this and you look down. These are temperatures. You look down surface temperatures and you see the yellow with the kind of a light green. I can draw here. I forgot about that. I can draw on this one. So here we are. And right about in here is Bowling Green. Okay. Now, again, this is not this Saturday, but it's the following Saturday, the 11th. This is why I keep saying there's something coming, a big change that is coming. Now, we look down on the scale here of the colors, and you see it's right in here. Oops, it's not letting me draw there. But you see it goes from kind of the low 60s into the 50s. This right here at 1800 Z or Zulu time would be 1 o'clock in the afternoon or thereabouts. Yeah, about 1 o'clock in the afternoon next Saturday. Yeah, 50s and 60s for high temperatures with the really warm air locked in deep south. Okay. Now, I want you to look at something else here. Besides that, let's go a little bit back to the north. Look at this. Now, this is not affecting us, but I mean, wow. Okay. On the scale down here, those temperatures would be 20s and 30s next Saturday. And I would say here in the Rockies, the Northern Rockies, That would be most likely snow, especially in the higher elevations. This is next Saturday, the 11th of October. So, how about that? Now, that doesn't mean it's going to happen, but the signs are pointing that direction that a big chill, what we would consider a big chill, or at least a chill in the air and cooler, somewhat even colder temperatures are coming by the middle of this month, maybe starting around the 10th, 11th to about the 15th. There are several other indications or signals that that is going to happen. It's not a sure thing, but at least it's a sign that give this another week, week and a half to flush out this warm air and this pattern that we've been stuck in. And I think we're finally going to flip that switch and go into more of a cooler regime, less of the 80s, even fewer 70s, and we're going to get much, much cooler. And it's going to start to really feel like fall. We just got to give it a little bit more time. All right. Speaking of time, I'm out of time. It's 7:36. That is a look at your 270 weather. Don't forget, if you would like to subscribe for exclusive content like my weekly weather preview that I'm going to start doing every Sunday, that gives you a look ahead. It's called the 270 Weather Flash Forecast. Plus, anytime I do some special videos and updates, or just if you want to show your support, it's only $1.99 a month, and you get that extra content, which I'm going to add to coming soon. So there you go. You just subscribe, just put your phone up to that QR code, scan that, and it'll take you to the link where you can sign up. In the meantime, I'll see you tomorrow morning for Thursday on News 40 Sunrise on CBS and NBC 40 WNKY here in Bowling Green. Have a great evening.